Nick Compton's sensational early season form continued as he turned another ton into a double hundred and added to three-figure scores from Errol Sapaya and James Hildreth. He put Somerset in a commanding position going into the final day of their LV County Championship match against Nottinghamshire at Trent Bridge. Play resumed on the third morning with Somerset on 78 for 1 in reply to Nottinghamshire's 162, and that total was soon put into perspective by Compton and Sapaya, who at times made batting look easy against an attack badly missing Andre Adams. Compton has already scored a 99 and 133 in the Championship and a double hundred against Cardiff University, and with Sapaya he was soon putting knots to the sword here. On this form, Compton has every chance of securing 1,000 runs before the end of May, or even April. His latest 50 came at a patient rate, taking him 160 balls to reach, although he got there with a stylish 6 off Samit Patel. Patel had claimed a catch not given against Sapaya on the previous evening, and how he and his team had wished that that take had been more clear-cut as this pair started to put their side well ahead. Patel was eased over long on as Sapaya, who began the day with a 50 to his name, now neared his 100. He got there in time for lunch with a quickly run 2 on the leg side. It had taken him 177 deliveries to get there, an innings including 12 fours and 2 sixes. He'd given his side the perfect start after the loss of Marcus Trescothick through injury. As these two kept going, the loss of their inspirational captain had simply seemed to inspire them even more. Another classic on drive from the super impressive Compton took the partnership to 216. It was finally ended with a total on 228 as Sapaya on 124 edged a cut off Paul Franks to Alex Hales, and that gave Franks the 500th wicket of his first-class career. If Notts thought that that wicket might open up the game for them a bit more, they were sadly mistaken as Compton eased to his second 100 in his last 2 games. He changed gears since recording his 50, with his century occupying 241 balls, his second 50 coming off 81. With Hildreth soon putting bat to ball, this pair were batting with even more authority. With a lot of time lost to rain in this match, they knew that the best chance they had of winning and overhauling their opponents at the top of the table was to bat just once, and Compton and Hildreth in partnership gave them every chance of doing just that. The run rate began to improve as the ball continued to get pummeled to the pickets, with Hildreth racing to his own 50 off 70 balls, with 8 fours included in that. The only thing in Nottinghamshire's favour was that the pitch now looked ideal for batting on, but Compton kept on applying scoreboard pressure. He added another 6 off Patel, and by the end of this knock, he's already been at the crease for 1,230 minutes and has faced 867 balls. That's more than some teams have managed, and that's just in Championship cricket. His exceptional 150 soon arrived. It was all too easy for the former Middlesex man, who got to his latest milestone off 293 balls. He was now seeing the ball as if it was the size of a house, and he was playing his shots accordingly. He and Hildreth shared in a massive partnership and a first-class warm-up game, and they clearly enjoy each other's company. Hildreth was just the man for the job now, as Somerset started to hit out to get themselves into a position to declare before the day was through. An easy single took Hildreth to his latest ton, and what 100 it was, needing the use of just 112 deliveries, 15 of which he'd spanked for 4. The Notts bowlers now looked a little shell-shocked, and Compton made them pay just a little bit more, before he went to his second first-class double 100 of the summer, and we're still in April. His last 50 had come off only 29 balls. It was a magnificent knock from the country's #1 batsman right now. When the declaration followed with him unbeaten on 204, he'd taken his tally of first-class runs this season to 685, made at an extraordinary average of 137. Hildreth was left unbeaten on 102. The declaration came at 445 for 2, meaning that Nottinghamshire need a draw to get even a single point from this match. Trailing by 283, they simply couldn't afford to lose any wickets in the 12 overs that remained, And thankfully for them, they didn't, as Hales and Neil Edwards made the most of this surface in knocking off 47 runs of that deficit. So they go again on day 4, still 236 runs behind as they look to avoid a 24-0 result from this one-sided match. Both Hales and Edwards have 22 runs to their name, but they'll both have to bat for some while yet to save this game.